Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to discuss another Leetcode problem, and that problem is based on string. Okay, so now let's see the question. So the question is remove trailing zeros from a string. Given a positive integer num represented as a string, return the integer num without trailing zeros as a string. So you are given a string and that is a representation of a number. Okay, so you have to remove all the trailing zeros from that particular string and you have to return the number, and that number should be represented at a string. Okay, so what this question is saying to you, like this is the first example. The first example, it is like it is given a number and it is represented as a string. So what is your task? You have to remove these two trailing zeros. Okay, and after removing these two trailing zeros, you have to return this output. Okay, this string you have to return. Okay, after removing all the trailing zeros. Okay, so that same explanation you can see here also, like integer 51230100 has two trailing zeros, means these two trailing zeros you have, and you have to remove and you have to return integer 512301. Okay, so this is all the trailing zeros. Okay, trailing zeros means the ending zeros that you have to remove. Okay, like here also you have 10, but it's not a trailing zeros because after 0 you have another element that is not equals to 0. Okay, you have 1 that is not equals to 0, and trailing zero means you have all the zeros at the end. Okay, there is no other elements, only zeros you have at the end. Okay, that all the zeros that is coming at the end of a string, like of a number, better we can say, of a number, that all the zeros you have to remove. Okay, but after 0 if you have any like number like 1 2 3 4 and all not equals to 0, obviously, then that is not a trailing zero. Trailing zero means you will have only zeros at the end, that zeros you have to remove. Okay, like for this case you have 1 2 3. Okay, but always also 1 2 3. Why so? Because there is no trailing zeros. Okay, so about what I was saying to you, like if you have 1 2 3 4 4 0 0 and then again you will get another 1, then this is not a trailing zeros. Okay, but after 1 if you have another 3 4 zeros, like 4 5 zeros, then these are the trailing zero, because after this zeros you don't have any 2 3 and all. See any number, you means not that number is not equals to 0, obviously you don't have that kind of number, so then these zeros will be treated as a trailing zeros. Okay, I think this trailing zeros concept is clear to you. So what is your task? Yeah, you have to remove all the trailing zeros and you have to return one string. Only this string you have to return. Okay, so I think this question is clear to you and this question is pretty straightforward. So now let's see how we can solve this question. So first thing first, I'll solve this problem as expected in Java, but you can understand the logic and you can implement the same logic in any programming language, right? So now let's see how we can solve. So what I will do, I have a logic that I'll traverse this num string from end. Okay, from ending I will traverse. Okay, and I'll continue my traversing till I'll get one character, or like better you can say one number that is not equals to 0. Okay, and whenever I will get that number that is not equals to 0, then I will stop my traversing, or better you can say I will break that particular for loop. You will return the index position, means of the first trailing zero, means where the trailing zeros are starting, that starting index position I will return. Okay, so it's a bit confusing what I was saying to you. Okay, let me first write down the code and obviously we'll get it better. Okay, so what I was saying to you, that I will traverse a particular string from end, right? So end, from the end I have to traverse, and then what I will do, okay, before I will take one integer value id x, and I'm just taking one default value for this. Okay, so if num of caret of I is equals to 0, then what I will do, I will just store that particular index position in IDX. Okay, if it is not any 0, then I'll just break this for loop. What it will do now, like for first time it will get 1 0. Okay, so in IDX I will store that like what is the length.
Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay,
so for the first time it will store 7. Okay, second time this if block will execute because the condition will be satisfied. Okay, and now it will be 6. Okay, but for the third time it will be 1. Okay, so then this else block will execute, right? Because now it is not equals to 0, so this else block will execute and it will just break out from the for loop, because as you can see you have traversed all the trailing zeros. Okay, and you have stored the index position that from where the starting index position of the trailing zeros that you have stored in IDX. Okay, so now maximum thing is done. So what I will say, if IDX is greater than or equals to 0, then what I will create, I will create one substring num from 0 to IDX. Okay, what why I am checking it, because as you can see here I am taking -1, right? So if you want to create any substring by any chance, if like suppose take the example 2, for this case this if block will never execute. Okay, so for the first time it will like break out from our for loop. So for that case our IDX will be -1, but in that case if you want to create the substring, then it will give you exception, right? Because there is no element that is present in -1, because as you know the index position start from 0, right? From 0 to 1 2 3 4 and so on, right? So it won't start from -1, so that case it will give you exception. So if IDX is equals to -1, it means that this kind of scenario happened, right? So in that case we will just return num only. Okay, so I think it's clear. So now just run this code. Okay, it is accepted. Okay, you can see the same here also. So now just submit this code. Okay, so now what is the time complexity? Or time complexity is order of n. Why so? Because here I am using one for loop. It is not any nested for loop and all. Here I am using one single for loop, and this single for loop I am using only for traversing our string. Okay, so obviously this for loop is a order of n time complexity it will give you. And what is the space complexity? So as you can see I am not using any collection, any array and all. So the time complexity is order of n, but the space complexity, as you can see I am not using any collection, any has map, has set and all, array list and all. So that's why here our space complexity is order of 1. Okay, it's clear, and also the solution is also clear to you. So what I am checking, so here I am checking that if that particular character or the particular number, if it equals to 0, then I am just updating our IDA, and this way I am trying to find out the starting index position of the trailing zeros. Okay, at the end I am using substring method. Okay, so it will give you like here our substring method, what will be the index from 0 to 6, right? It will give you 6, like 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, it will give you from 0 to 6, and it will give you all, it will give you one substring, or like it will give you a string with the from 0th index position to 5 index position. It will give you all the character from 0 to 5. Okay, like as you know, if you are using substring method, in substring method how substring method works, provide a starting index position. If you are not providing any starting index position, in that case it will take the string length. After string length it will give you the substring. Okay, suppose you have one string like a random thing I am taking. Okay, and if you are using substring, okay, substring from like I am just starting index position suppose 1. Okay, so this substring method, what it will give you, it will give you from 1 to up to last position. It will give you, like if you are not specifying anything now, by default what you have now, by default you have actually the particular string. Like suppose I am taking this string name is s, then by default if you are not specifying any int index position, in that case I am saying s dot length. Okay, it will give you all the, it will give you the all the character, or like pedagogy, it will give you the substring from one index position to s dot length. And in substring method, how it will work actually, substring method, you have to specify the starting index position. Okay, and okay, let me just write this whole thing, substring. Okay, and then end index position. Okay, and then it will create one substring that will be start from starting index as you have mentioned, but index position means end index position -1. Very important that you have to remember. It will give you one substring from starting index as you have mentioned, but end index position -1. Suppose you are specifying from 0 to 6, then it will create one substring from 0 to 5. Okay, from 0 to 5 it will give you the substring. It is very important that you have to remember. Okay, it will start from the starting index as you have mentioned, including the starting index position and the end index position -1. It will give you all one substring. Okay, this point is very important, that's why I am trying to explain, but I have explained this substring method in a separate video also. You can follow that one. Okay, and also this char add method, I have created one separate playlist for this all string methods. As you can see, to solve any programming question, this string method is very important and you have to know this string method. So that's why I have created one separate playlist for this. You can follow the playlist and you can learn from that videos. Okay, so I think this solution is totally clear to you. If you have any question, any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. And if you like my video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.